Before you watch this video, I highly recommend listening to our Banlist talk in the description below. Otherwise, you could keep continuing, or you could be a rebel and just keep continuing anyways. Welcome to this podcast. I was just about to say card of the week, actually. This particular podcast is we're gonna talk about the new ban list that is going to be in effect in December 29th. It was just recently released maybe about 4 or 5 hours ago, according to this podcast. So we're going to talk about we're talking about the good news of the ban list. Cards that got released from the ban list. Start with
Surprise.
Zero no Chikama now it's no longer banned from has no longer had any ban. The cards that were banned before was Lewis Royalty Duty Experience. If you have both Lewis Unshakable Trust and Lewis of the Holy Kingdom in the level zone, that card loses a level in your hand, and if you play it, you heal one. The card was a yellow 3/2 10k. And
the two cards you need for experience were the 1/1 vanilla and the level 2 yellow level support.
And the last card was Lewis Power While Unconscious, 2/1/7/5 red. When this card gets played, you have if you have 5 or less in your deck, choose a character with Familiar or Void in the win room, put in your hand, and then put all the cards from your win room back to deck. Shuffle the deck, and it changes on the encore phase to Lewis Mutual Love, pay 1, discard a card, and send that card to the waiting room. And the change itself was a 3/2 red, heal on change or on play. And when you play World's Door as the climax, and when it's the front row, you can choose a Saito Unbroken Feeling from memory onto field and gains 3k. And while I'm at it, Cycle Unbroken Feeling gives all void characters 1500. It's a 2/2 6k. So, what do you think of this release?
Well, I'm going to assume that both cards got released because anti-heal hit Zero no Tsukaima hard enough, and the fact of the matter is, Zero no Tsukaima still functions quite well without the use of comeback triggers. Using shot and win triggers still work. Still have. I mean, obviously, it's not as strong as it used to be. I'm going to assume that's the reason for the unbanning.
I wasn't actually sure. I was not actually sure, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I'm not actually sure. Yes, the anti-heal hits it. The anti-salvage hits the main deck.
But
no, because World Door is a salvage trigger, so
yeah.
there's no real reason to not use it if you're using Mutual Love.
Okay.
Of course, if you're not using Saito, then okay, then I guess not. But
yeah, that makes sense.
actually, if you are going to use Saito, you're still going to be using at least four of it. Because the thing to play back then with Zero Tsukaima was drop all your level 3s at level 2s, like literally. Just that's all they did.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not really sure what to say about the release on Zero Tsukaima. Back then, it wasn't really all that threatening to end there anyways, because they really didn't have no ender. That's still going to be their main problem.
Yeah, I don't have any reason to diffuse that. Yeah.
So I don't think it'll affect too much in the current meta, well, in ours at least, because we only have one second Karma player, and he's pretty rejoiced about that. But so yeah,
but he's a good player regardless.
in any case, I don't think it'll affect too much, considering that he doesn't really have any finishers. The heals could be antied, and the salvage it could be do before could be antied as well. So it definitely won't be as strong as it was before due to the new stuff that came in, but we'll see how far that goes. Alright, the next thing that got released for the ban list. Supreme Overlord Haruhara is now unbanned, and now you can play as one of in the deck. But that card did, when you play it from hand, you heal 1, and you can set this to memory to choose up to 2 angels or demons from your win room return to your hand, and that card's a 3/2 10k.
I think it became a one-off because this is if we go later on and talk about the Nisekoi stuff, one of the cards got hit to a 1x, and this is the very first time that we've seen you're allowed to play only one of this card in the deck, and really the problem with the Haruhara was the heal looping. So if you limit it to 1, there's no more heal loop.
Yeah, I guess technically because this guy has no real way to pull things out of the memories. So once it's in the memory, it's gone. So as far as heal looping goes, you definitely cannot do it with just one copy.
Well, you still can with the bond, but it's not as easy as before.
No, definitely not as easy. You literally have to play over the bond, play over the level 3 with the bond to get the card, and then play over something maybe.
Yeah, just it's yeah, it's rather convoluted now. So, okay, that makes sense.
The only real way I would say to still make it heal loop kind of is to play the level 3, then play the bond over the level 3, then play the level 3 over the bond, then put a secondary, pick up something, and then that's literally the end of the heal loop.
Okay.
That's 2 at best. So yeah, I think one won't affect too much. It'll give the Sky players more options. At least one healer that is not, Edna, or
Yeah, good point.
or
Of course, it will go back in every single deck, right?
this is going back in every single deck that's run red.
It's too good not to run.
It's too good not to run. I mean, like if you look at a pure pretty deck, it's if you easy just send that to memory and then pick up whatever double Ednas. I don't know.
Okay.
It is an easy splash in one card. It's not gonna be an issue. So yeah, that is the Skaios release on the ban list. And now we talk about the stuff that actually got hit.
Oh boy.
The first card that got hit is Junior's second hero class light aircraft carrier, 2/16K yellow. This card cannot be chosen by opponent's effects, and all your fleet girls gains 1 soul. This got hit to the point that this card can no longer be played. In other words, this card now completely banned of play.
Kuso Teitoku finally sunk Junyo.
So, what do you think of this?
I completely and utterly agree. Junyo was making some decks that had no business winning to win, and that's because it became a mindless chore of like this is my set, so I understand it a lot more. Junyo basically gave every single 1/0 in a deck the ability to say, I'm relevant at level 2, attacking for 2 soul, which for no cost, which is kind of ridiculous. At least with I-58, you could still get that out of level 1, but you'd have to pay quite a hefty cost for it. With Junyo, all you need to do is just play it on the back row, and suddenly all your characters have +1 soul, and you could basically just avoid level 2 altogether and just play a whole bunch of 1/0s. And now that Kantai Kai is out, it's completely possible to even overpower your opponents without any power supports.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about that. To be honest, I didn't find that as an issue because once I played against Junior Kenkai, I just put 2 Makotos in the back. But
No, but you're running
yeah.
IMATs. So like, what do other series have?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So yeah,
I meant you could just ram them in because you had so much hand advantage, and of course Congo. I mean the Congo. Junyo and Yukikaze was kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I have nothing to say about that really. He said pretty much everything. Makes your level 2 game totally irrelevant. I can't say nothing about it to be honest. I don't know. I never played against the deck honestly because yeah, once the original ban list hit, I didn't see anyone play Junyo anymore besides him, and I didn't get to play against him.
I've seen a few decks that ran Junyo. None of them necessarily good, but they weren't taking full advantage of what Junyo could actually do. I mean, like, if I built a deck around Junyo, because I really liked the deck I had built at that point, and I pretty much kept it the same way until the new set hit. But if I was to make a deck around Junyo, it would be pretty scary because it would be a ton of hand advantage and attacking for 2 soul at every single go while using climaxes to cancel and stuff like that. And you could even combo that with the Musashi Kai from the second set to just shuffle your climaxes back in.
Speaking of that, it's a good thing this card got banned like literally just after Kankai 2 set came out because this card would have been easily the best choice of the 3 again.
Yeah.
Because the Musashi could be easily replaced with Yamato Kai. And the Inazuma could be replaced by like literally any level 0. So yeah, I don't see. Everyone was pretty sure this card was going to hit at some point. We didn't think it would be this soon, but it happened this soon.
Sorry?
The set came out only like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
it is an emergency ban list for a reason though, right?
Yeah, but we didn't think it would be hit this fast. Not this fast. So yeah, that is the ban on Kankai. Now we talk about the 103. The 2 of them has not changed. The Musashi second Yamato class battleship and Inazuma Blunderer. They have not changed. We're just talking about the new card that's been added in. Akagi
Mm-hmm.
Kai, Akagi class air carrier. When this card is played from hand, draw 2 cards, discard a card, and the starter climax, send all your stock to the ready room. If you do, all your character gains 1k till end of your opponent's turn. And when this battle point is reversed, if Akagi of first carrier division deploying is in the climax zone, you can send that card to clock, and that climax is treasure bar. So with Junior now banned, then they decided to add Akagi into the list.
Yeah, I completely and utterly agree.
Do you think
Oh
this?
my
Do you
goodness.
think this will make any particular effect considering the new set that came out?
Yes. And here's why. Remember that level 3 Kaga that was spoiled? The grab a card from clock and put it in play?
Yes.
Akagi would be run with that card, no problem. And if you run that with Inazuma, you have essentially like your game. That's basically your deck. Like that is an absolute no-brainer. And even before that, Akagi was easily run with Musashi for pretty good effect.
Okay, yeah, I see. That would totally make sense. You just would assume it to either Matsukai or Shimikaze. Into Shimikaze right into Akagi. And then you just, or maybe just Kaga, and then just clock the Akagi, then just play Kaga and pull Akagi out. Or just play more Akagi. Who gets it down? No one really wants that draw 2, drop 1 where you just get free 2 stock.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Or then just to play more Akagis, but then
yeah,
sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's probably just better to play Akagi.
yeah.
Then guys, the whole stock eating part. But I see your point.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, there are other combos that I mentioned, but the Kaga one is definitely the main one.
So I'm not really, like I said, I'm not familiar with Kankai. I was interested at one point, and I just totally dropped it because no money. I have nothing to say about that. All I think is not really sure what they'll pick now anymore. Actually, what do you think they'll pick of the 3?
I'm sticking with Musashi for now. I've always disliked Akagi, and I would never run her, but I'm pretty sure that that's probably gonna be one of the best choices still.
And no longer Inazuma.
Um, yeah, see, that's the interesting thing because Akagi Kai was one of the most surefire ways of dealing with the anti-burn that was going around in Shana and in Log Horizon. And if you like my old deck, which was Haruna and Musashi, was super heavy on burn. So if I ever faced one of those 2 decks, I was just dead in the water. So Akagi Kai was typically used to bypass those restrictions, and even without that, being able to kick characters to clock willy-nilly forces opponents to either ram their characters in or have a big power, which, hey, gives you the chance to attack directly for certain for 2 soul using your 1 soul characters when you needed it. One of the things I think in regards to this ban list is that it's going to definitely create a little bit more varied decks because Akagi is not as dominant without Inazuma, and Inazuma is not as dominant without Akagi. So we might see the rise of some more Musashi decks, especially that Musashi and Yamato Kai are kind of a thing together.
I guess so. I'm not sure about that, but I guess so. I'm just thinking it might be too heavy on the cost, but I guess you have Ariyami if you really want to farm stock.
I actually tried it without Ayanami yesterday at the tournament.
Uh-huh.
Yamato Kai works best as a one-off, and if you can just grab it with Murakumo earlier on at level 2, then you can basically set up. Also, if you're running a lot of costless levels 1s, like it's really simple to just build up that stock.
I guess so. I mean, like you do have a lot of stock charging cards. I didn't think it would be too much of an issue, but I think it might be. I thought it might just be a bit too much with both with Yamato and Musashi. But that's what I thought. Anyways, so so he thinks Musashi will be the best choice besides
Oh,
Inazuma.
no. I think Akagi Kai is still the best choice, and Inazuma and Musashi about tied. I just like Musashi, so I'm going to be running her.
I see. So, I personally think that if you're gonna run Akagi, you better just make the deck around Akagi because
That is already what people are doing, like before this ban list hit, and they were just running really good, solid cards like Inazuma. Now that they don't have access to Inazuma, they're gonna have to run a little bit weaker cards, like I don't know, Murasame Kai or Murasame in general. Uh, so that definitely lowers the potency of their early game. They still have an amazing late game, that no doubt about that. But it's really dependent on what a deck builder is looking for.
I see. So yeah, this is basically new Kankai ban list. Literally just 2 weeks after the ban, 2 weeks after the second set came out. I hope we might see some different decks. Well, we're still gonna see different decks because of Kankai recent release, so whatever. So yeah, that is it for Kankai, and we now talk about the main thing for this set for this ban list. The main reason why this ban list even came up in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
The first thing we got, this card cannot only be played as one. Markup, Maiden's Heart. When this attacks, if there's two more Pendant of Promise in your memory, you can deal 1 damage to your opponent. You can pay 2, discard 3 from your hand to win room. With this effect can only activate once per turn. When this battle opponent becomes your first, if you have 2 more key trait characters, you can pay the cost. If you do, you can restand the card. So now this card got hit by 1. I will now talk about the actual stuff that got hit to one of 3. Yes, this goes farther than that. To start with, these are the picked up one of 3s. Kosaki, Angel in White Clothing, 217k. With this card's played from hand, you have 5 refuel in your deck. You can put all your cards back in the win room and then shuffle it. After that, draw a card. Rest 2 characters. Give a character 2k rest 2 key characters, my bad. Choose one of your characters and that character gains 2k for the turn. Raikou being familiar, 00515. All your other key trait character gains 500. You can discard a card to salvage Pendant of Promise from Waiting Room back to hand. And then all 4 Pendant of Promise, and I'm just going to go ahead and say them all once off by memory. The yellow one is a 1/1 that searches for any key trait. The green one was a 1/1 that gives character 35 till end of your opponent's turn. The red one was a 1/1 that rests 2 characters to salvage 2 characters. The discard one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then the last one was the 1/1 35k counter.
Okay.
That sounds
Wait,
wrong.
no, that's not right. 3K counter.
3k counter. I was like, no, that seems a bit off. I was like, yeah, it's 3k counter. So I guess first we talk about is the level 3 markup. This card went down to 1. How badly do you think that will affect Nisekoi?
See, here's the thing. When people were discussing the list, limiting it to 1 was not an option. Limiting it to 2 seemed like, well, if we limit it to 2, it would still have to be part of some ban list because running 2 is really simple with the level 3 on Adara. So a lot of people were thinking like level 3 on Adara and Marika would also be on the list. And if you chose Marika, you'd have to limit it to 2. That ended up not being the case. Instead, you limit the Marika to 1. And my opinion on that is that wait and see attitude. Like, I obviously don't play Nisekoi.
The funny thing is, I never actually played against Nisekoi before the ban list hit, so I can't really say anything about that.
I have played against Nisekoi before the ban list hit. Even having just one Marika on the board is really, really painful, and being able to grab it using any methods, it's really easy. A lot easier than it seems. And even as one, it's kind of a force. Now, if we compare with the choose 1 out of 3, you have the Raku, which I think is the best card out of the 3. Well, I mean, that was one of the key cards for the deck, rather. And I say that not meaning to make a pun and all. Raku's ability to grab pendants for no cost at the stock allowed the deck to be very flexible in how they use their stock. That allowed them to basically spam the level 3 on Adaras in order to search without losing any hand to grab the Marika. And at the same time allowed the deck to have a global 500, which honestly, global 500 at level 0 is great. Like, there's nothing bad against it. The card did too much good for the deck. So I'm very glad that Raku's on the list, and I think that was a very, very wise choice. Another card, obviously, that needed to be on that list was the pendants, though I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. Turns out they just put all 4 pendants on the list.
Yep, just threw it all because technically they all had the same name, and you cannot have them all in the same.
Exactly. Yeah. See, that was the other problem I had because like the strongest ones was the blue one, and then the red one at a distant second. But those were definitely by and far the best ones, and being able to just use it whatsoever, oh man, it was just ridiculous. Like, the pendants in themselves were already pretty good by themselves, but they gave added bonuses to everything in the set. So they're on the ban list for obvious reasons. Now the third card is the Free Fresh, and it's not the level 3 Onodera.
Amazingly, it's not.
And
That
here's the
means
reason.
that I would be surprised if it was, because if you throw Pendant and the Onodera there, then the Onodera is a dead card.
Well, no, here's the reason why the Free Fresh is on there. They wanted to kill the card.
Yeah, the card is no longer really a choice anymore.
Yeah, what ended up happening was that the Free Fresh Onodera would let the opponent refresh their deck after brainstorming and/or taking care of their deck. Usually, they would end up at 5 cards anyways. But when they refreshed, then because they still had the 2 pendants in memory, they got to play the level 3 Onodera for no compression cost. In addition, they drew a card off of it, which I mean, I guess that's not really that much because I mean, you have the free fresh one from Disgaea that deals a damage. So I don't think it was because of the draw card or the power boost. I just think it's because when you refreshed the deck that early and you had the level 3 Onoderas, you could basically play them with no compression cost. Because usually when you play a level 3 early, you're hitting yourself in compression, especially with the with 6 climaxes or more in waiting room. Unless you paid out 2 climaxes, of course, which is kind of amazing. And the 5 or less cards in deck. Either way, those ones ruin your compression by playing level 3s. Having the Free Fresh allowed you to play the level 3 Onodera without compression hit. Now you can play the level 3 Onodera if you want, but that will hit your compression for level 3. And that was one of the main reasons why the Nisekoi deck was so strong. They had a great finisher, and they had defense and compression because of when they got to play their level 3s.
So, what do you think would be the choices besides the one Maruka?
Dependence.
Yeah, honestly, without dependence, Maruka is not as good as it could be. I mean, like, still it's a good restand card, though.
Raku's dead.
Raku's dead. There's no point playing Raku without dependence, and with dependence got in the list as well, Raku is just a global 500. And there's going to be a lot better choices. Top that, you have the promos as pendant salvagers anyways. You probably just opt those over Raikou.
Yeah.
If you're playing pendants, that is. If you're not playing pendants, then you're playing Kosaki. Then I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm not really sure what you're going to do with that. I guess that would be a Kosaki fan deck, or maybe just go with Marka Onodera without dependence somehow. No, that sounds pretty bad.
Well, to be fair, anything sounds pretty bad compared to the deck that was running rampant.
Yeah. For those who didn't know, the ban list got hit because in WGP regionals in Japan, Nisekoi hit about 67% of top 8, which gives an obvious feeling that Nisekoi is too strong. In any case, Pendant is going to be the choice of 3. There is real no doubt about it. There will be some rogues that will try to go Raikou or Kosaki, probably. There's always at least few.
Well, of course, because you want to test it and stuff like that, but it's most likely going to be those choices.
Yeah, it's Raikou is a dead card. I don't think anyone's ever gonna play Raikou again. Oh yeah, not to mention. Now we should also mention this as well. There is one way to bypass this whole restriction, and that is when you play all your cards in the deck is named Maruka. Only the red pendant and the 3/3 burn for 3/3 burn, and it will only use salvage, red stock, and a blue gate as your climax trigger. Then this ban list no matter matters.
Basically, if your deck only has the Marika character.
Basically, you're playing a fan deck.
In which case, it doesn't matter. Now, this is the interesting thing, because we actually have a player that actually ran that deck.
How did that do?
Oh my goodness, that deck is so fair. It didn't matter that they were playing Marikas and they had pendants and whatever sort of thing. It was completely and utterly fair, and I enjoyed playing against that deck. Not only that, but it was a very close game, and I won that. So we actually have that match on our channel.
Did we? Never seen it. I guess
it was the Kantai versus Nisekoi one on Thursday.
Oh, I see. So yeah, that is the only way to bypass that ban list. I'm not actually sure anyone will actually do it officially, although I'm sure someone will do it at least once. So yeah, that is like literally the only way to bypass this ban list. Although all we would do is put Marco back up to 4. Well, technically, I guess you could play you can play dependents, you can play the Marco back at 4. Then that's like you still don't have you still don't have the Kosaki option, and you still don't have the Raikou option. Also, I guess you can just replace Raikou with the Marco Pendant Salvager. So that is it for the change of the list. Was there anything in particular you were hoping to get in?
No, everything that I wanted to get hit got hit. I guess there was maybe one more card in Kantai that I kind of wish got hit. Kinda,
And what card was that?
kinda. I'm trying to remember the name actually. Actually, I don't remember anymore. I thought about it at one time and I just didn't.
You didn't follow through. All right.
I didn't
So,
follow through. Yeah.
what people I know of thought was going to get put in the list was the 1/1 Ditzy Haruka because it felt like with the new level 3 Haruka it was going to become the new Maruka.
Too new.
Well, yeah, that you say that, but Kenko became Kenko got hit as well.
But Kankale was taking top spots and IMAX wasn't.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. The other one they think they're gonna also get hit was the 3/2 Mickey.
No, no, it's too soon.
Yeah, that's far too for a new card. That's far too soon. It's not good for sales, and it's just not. It's just too new. It's not. It's not. It's just too. It's not Konami. This is not Konami.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at it, if you look at it, even though Kantai got hit again, right? Because it was taking top spots as well, and if you weren't playing Nisekoi, you were playing Kantai at the top 8 usually, right? But if you look at it, none of the new cards got hit. It was again going back to the very first set, and
then,
that's something just to point out.
And then the last thing was they also thought the level 3 Takane was gonna take it off, and then put off-time Makoto on the list. Which would honestly would definitely hurt the Automaster more than it should be. But so yeah, that was it. As far as people I know, some people thought the level somehow restrict the level 3 from Haruka from the 1/1 Ditzy maybe, some random combination like that. So yeah, that is it. That really is it for the list. That is it. For those who don't know what we're talking about, please refer to the link below to the old ban list talk. Obviously, some things will change, and yeah. All right. I guess we'll all see you later.
All right, and once the February ban list hits, then we will discuss this list again in depth.
If it changes too much, yes, we will.
Of course.
All right.
Do you think IMAX will get on that list then?
Who knows? Maybe.
Maybe. If IMAX wins the entire tournament, I guess.
I'm probably just picking bad decks, just having too much fun playing fan decks. But I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that's gonna happen. But we'll see what happens when Nash WGP World comes out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yep, we'll see you next time. Well, more like next time. More like in February for this talk.
Of course. All right, catch you later.
Bye.